This is the Junior Cert assessment item number 17. This is a number chain. It's part and it tells us of a doubling number chain. What happens if we double 240? What happens if we double 24? We get 48. So 240 is 480. You can see the same happens for 120 up to 240. For 60 up to 120. So we're multiplying by 2 going left to right in this direction. We're multiplying by 2. What's the opposite of multiply? Dividing by 2 in the opposite direction. 60 divided by 2 is 30. Now that might seem obvious. You're going to set a few up now in class where they may not seem as obvious. The next one is a halving number chain. Halving is dividing by 2. Similar again, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 5 over 2. They don't ask you to write it as a decimal. 2.5, but just easy enough. If you can understand that 5 divided by 2 is written like this, it will make your math lives a whole lot easier. In assessment item number 18, they're checking your reading of maps. Now, not everyone can just look at this and see the answer, but it does take a little bit of time. So maybe just put your point of your pen somewhere at Galway. And here we go. We're going to drive to Sligo. You're going to run backwards to Sligo. It's going to take you ages. It's 139 kilometers. So what are we asked? How far is it from Dublin to Cork? So Dublin, put your pen on Dublin. Can we go straight to Cork? Yes. Now we may not be able to. So we may have to go another route. We'd have to add two numbers together, but you can see here, Dublin to Cork is the 260. That's given to you here. And the units are also given to you at the end. Next question. Which two cities are 98 kilometers apart? So they've given you space to write both of them, so make sure you do. Here's the 98. So it goes from Cork to Limerick, not the 99 that's here. And just check the others. 200. Just have a look around. Definitely no others. 98 is Cork and Limerick. Now Caoimhe lives in Limerick and she wants to visit either Dublin or Cork. Which of these cities is nearer to Limerick? And it just asks us to tick the correct box underneath, which we'll look at now. So let's have a look. She lives in Limerick. Write in pencil if you're putting information on diagrams in the exam in case you need to rub it out. So she lives in Limerick and she visits either Dublin or Cork. Now, it's fairly obvious. If you know your map of Ireland, you know Limerick is closer to Cork, and they're not going to lie in the exam, but maybe mathematically we might be asked to do something. You can see Cork is 98. Dublin is 196. So what they're asking is, can you read this question? Which is nearer? Some people may not read it. So which is nearer? Cork is nearer. So make sure you put a tick in the box if they ask you to put a tick in the box. Put a tick. Cork is nearer. And how many kilometers nearer? So they're not really testing your math skills. It's can you read the question properly? How many kilometers nearer to Limerick is it? So what do we need to know there? We need to know the distance from Dublin to Limerick, which is 196. And we need to know the distance to Cork, which is 98. And the difference between these two is also 98. So if you left Dublin and drove 98, you'd still have another 98 to go before you get to Limerick. So we'd say that Cork is 98 kilometers closer to Limerick than Dublin. Now Connor drives from Dublin to Galway to Limerick and then back again to Dublin. How many kilometers does he drive altogether? And show your worked out answer. So you definitely would need to read this question maybe twice just to figure out exactly what they're asking. Connor drives from Dublin to Galway to Limerick and back again to Dublin. So let's have a look at that. Dublin, Galway, Limerick. So again, I would rub out Dublin, Galway, and then to Limerick, Dublin to Galway. So just shorten it down, Dublin to Galway, and write down the information, 207. What does he do next? Well, he's at Galway, and he's going to Limerick. So he's now in Limerick, and that's a distance of 99. And then back to Dublin. So he's at Limerick, so he has to go back to Dublin. So it's just one more trip, Limerick to Dublin, which is 196. And we're asked how many kilometers does he drive. So we just add these three together. You'll use a calculator. 196 and 99 is 295. And then add 200, you get 495, and add 7, you get 502 kilometers that Connor has driven. I hope he had a few breaks and got something to eat, because that's a long way to drive.